Good morning. On this twin flame journey, when you meet your twin flame and you're like, all of a sudden, these cosmic worlds are open up to you. It's like all of a sudden you awaken and this portal opens and you go into this vast world that you realize that you were always connected to. You realize that you always knew was there, but it was kind of like hazy. It was kind of like cloudy. And then all of a sudden, the doors are just wide open and you're shot through. And then everything that you knew up until this point is just like the very edge of the fork. It's like the telltale end hair of the being. It's like it's like everything that you've known until now. First of all, you start seeing falsity in it, and you start seeing that you built your life on false beliefs and pretenses, and that you are actually hiding yourself from yourself because the world is so vast, and we have this core wound of abandonment, and we're trying to grasp onto anything solid that we can so that we can hold everything in place and have it not move so that we can feel secure. And on this twin flame journey, all of a sudden the doors are like wide open and you're forced through them. You're forced into this unknown world of the vast, of the infinity of, and not only do you, in the beginning, you don't have tools for it, it also breaks down everything that you knew until this moment. And this massive worlds are open to you that you couldn't see before. And all of a sudden you're forced to go through those doors and make sense of it all. And you start seeing layers and layers and layers. And as you rise through the density, in the physical world is the most dense. Everything is already physical. It's very dense. And as you rise, the density levels start, things start clearing. And the higher you rise to your soul level, the cleaner and the clearer everything becomes. But as you rise through, if you're going up into pure air, you can't take that dense energy or dense vibration with you. You have to clear your vibration as you rise through the layers of existence. And with every layer, you get to a plateau, and then you go up another layer, and as you go through that layer, you have to shed more of the falsity and more of the dense thoughts and behaviors and attachments and addictions. And because to rise to the soul level is purity, you have to be pure. And in order to get there, you kind of also have to stay connected to the ground level, because you cannot collect anything without your container, which is this body, this being, this meat. It's like a meat being. And it's of importance. You have to have it. Um, it is the part of you that anchors you in this 3D existence. It's the part of you that allows you even to collect whatever it is your consciousness is seeing, and collect it and make and sort through it and make sense of it and expand it into expansion for the knowledge of, for the expansion of the all, for God. That's your God's work. So without the container, you cannot even grasp anything and hold on to it. So there is you see, everything has purpose. Here I'm working it out during the talking. This is how my work goes. This talking through things is my own self therapy. The moon is still out up there in the sky. I don't know if you can see it. I'm in this valley again. This place that I come to here, I just feel like there's something here that draws me to this place. And over there is the pillar. And so, in order for us to even rise into the higher levels and build something, we have to have this container. That means that we have to keep one foot in, one foot on the ground as we rise. We can't just be rising in consciousness. We also have to take care of this body. This body needs shelter. This body needs food. This body needs this existence in order to allow us to rise into the higher existences. So it's just as important of a um, just as important as everything. Everything is has significance and importance, and in this 3D world, we have to take care of our bodies, because if we don't take care of our bodies will pull us out of the higher realms and say, take care of me, take care of me, take care of me. I need food, I need shelter, I need security, I need, my responsibility is my children. We have all of these things that are in our physical body is also important, to keep our physical body in shape, to keep our physical body in a place where it's not lacking, because it'll pull us out of the we won't be able to go into these higher realms if our physical body a lot of times when I'm channeling or something is coming through, if I start getting hungry, it pulls me back down into it pulls me out. If my mind isn't quiet, if that's why meditation and affirmations and grounding in the morning is so important, to quiet our mind and to connect to the all. I was just sitting here, and today's Friday, so there's a lot of people, and it's a holiday, it's Sukkot, and there's a lot of people out um, wandering, going for trips and stuff. And the valley, I get up here, people can't really see me. They don't even know that I'm here, but I can see the people walking through the valley. It kind of gives me a bird's eye view. And the people are making so much noise, and they're talking and talking and talking and talking about nothing really. Conversations that aren't even really worth the effort in putting into them. It's like wasting your effort on things that aren't important, things that you're using your focus in ways, and that's another thing I want to talk about is focus. Using your focus in ways that are superficial, that don't serve your higher purpose, is a waste. It's a waste of your energy. Now, I know that we also have to have times like that, we have to have fun times and not just always uh, pure focus, intense. And that's another thing that I want to talk about, the intensity of this twin flame journey. Um, but first, I want to finish the point of going up into these higher realms. When we get on this twin flame journey, uh, all of a sudden these vast worlds are open up to us, and the cosmos, and we realize that we are a lot more than we thought, and that we're connected to the all, and we're basically forced to go through ourselves. We don't really have a choice. We are forced into these higher realms, and we can get stuck on the different layers if we don't allow the density. If we don't start shedding, we can get stuck in these loops. We can get stuck in loops of blame and feeling sorry for ourselves and sorrow, like this last step that I've been going through, this separation. The last couple of days I've been having, it's been intense, intense, intense. And I recognize that I start going into mind loops, and then I can't sit still, and I start running. And at first I was getting, upset with myself for running. But as I run, it frees my mind so that I'm able to get out of the loops a little bit and get some perspective. And this morning I woke up, I'm better. Yesterday, I had a super intense day, and in the evening, I went up to my daughters to pick up some things I needed for work. Um, and on the way down, back down, I wasn't crying like I had been before, but I had this intense, intense pain. And at some point, I felt like a tick, like a disconnect, like I allowed the pain to sit in my stomach, it just sit in my heart, like I felt like I had a hole in my heart. And I disconnected my mind from it. I just allowed the pain to be there while I thought of other things. And I felt like that is part of it. That is part of this journey, as long as I'm aware of it, as long as I'm not disconnecting in a way that I'm, not feeling what I'm going through, because what I'm feeling it all, and I'm feeling it intense. But I allowed myself to have the pain and took my focus back into my own control, and I felt like this is a stage. I felt like it was a good thing that I was able to have the pain and take control over my mind. And I feel like that was kind of like a part of this rising. And also with the dimensions, what I'm realizing with these dimensions, helicopter, whoa, I had like a dizzy spell, a serious dizzy spell. Um, like almost blacking out, which wouldn't be good here. Now I have like little stars in my eyes. I've had before where I was channeling and my eyes went black, open and black. But there are different dimensions all around us, and we meet people every day that are living. We live side by side in different dimensions, and I can see that as I'm rising on this twin flame journey, that I'm passing through many different dimensions. And the more dimensions that I pass through, the more I can see through all of the other dimensions, like dimensions that I've already passed through and know intimately, because every dimension that we go through, we get settled in it, at least for a while. Otherwise, we couldn't pass through it and we couldn't understand it. And so we're passing through these different dimensions, and then we meet people all the time that are living simultaneously next to us, that are living in a complete different mindset, a complete different dimension than the dimension that we are living in. And it's a bee just flying around me, inspecting me. Um, kind of taking my focus away. I need to refocus, so I'm going to pause this for a second. So, with these different dimensions, there are simultaneously, like if you see our point of living, like the point that we are in, as like a sphere, and you can see coming out of the sphere, uh, un like unlimited um, uh, uh, um, dimensions, or unlimited potential for paths that we can go down in the future from every single moment. Every single moment is the only moment of power in our lives, and in every single moment we have unlimited potential of where to take it to. So I can come down off this mountain and in any different direction and take so many different paths, and it will defer, is that a word? It will change the course of my future, whichever path I choose. It'll take a different amount of time. I'll get out of this mountain in a different at a different instant, and every moment of power will change from this moment onward. So there are multiple dimensions and multiple options for your future from every single moment. That means that this moment and this moment and this moment and this moment, and it is constantly and continuously unfolding and opening up for you, so that your life is being consistently and continuously determined by your choices in every single moment. And your choices are being chosen according to your perspective, or according to the dimension, or according to where you are. And what you believe to be capable. Now, when most of us go through life on this automatic mode, we have these beliefs that have been inbred in us from generation after generation after generation, of what are our possibilities and what's right and wrong and what we should do and what we might do and what we can't do. and where we should go, and what we, what our responsibilities are, and what are our limitations, and what are our possibilities, and what is our education, and who's going to let us do that, and we need assurance from the world, and we have our insecurities, and we have our securities, and there's so many beliefs that we have, limiting beliefs, but also beliefs that allow us to go out and do things and experience life, and we can reprogram our mind to believe that we are unlimited, because we do. We have unlimited amount of options, in every moment, unlimited amount of potential. And once these, like through this twin flame journey, all of a sudden you are shot into the higher realms and into the invisible world that is all around you, that is much larger than the visible world. The visible world is the physical world. It are the things that were already manifested. There is so much, that the world is so much broader than that. In the unseen world, in the mystical, in the higher realms, in the connection to the all, there is an infinity amount of potential. Once I heard Wayne Dyer say in one of his um, lectures, he said that that there is a lot of things around you that are unseen. People believe in the physical and only in what they can see, but you go to a neuro, we know that we have thoughts, and if you go to a neurosurgeon and he opens up your brain and he slices it open, where are the thoughts? You can't see the thoughts, but you know that they exist because we each have thoughts. The evidence of it is in itself. And so there's the whole world is like that. What created life? What is this existence? What is this consciousness? And so we have this body, which is the container of the consciousness, which I was saying that we have to take care of, this body, because if our body isn't in shape, then I wouldn't be sitting up here in the mouth of this cave. And what I was saying about the noise, about people, people were down in the valley and they were walking through, they were making noise, and they had no idea that I was up here, but they were so loud. It was interfering with all of nature. It was interfering with my ability to connect to the higher realms. And I'm thinking about people that are living in cities and that are far away from nature. Just the vibration, you know, uh, the machinery, the vibration of the trains and the automobiles, and the smells, and living one on top of another. I see that in the house that I'm living on top of a family, and I see that the vibration of having people that are not in my not in sync with my vibration, it is interfering. It interferes, just like when the people were walking through the valley and they didn't even know that I was here. They took over my focus and they interfered with it. And with meditation, you bring your focus back. You get out of the noise for a minute and you bring it back into yourself, and you center yourself, and then you have quiet of the mind. Even if, and many times you go into meditation, you don't get into that deep mode, but you do have the consistency of it being in your existence, it being part of your life. And then you have the intention of it, and you're able to quiet your mind. I also don't have a TV in my living room. I had up till a couple years ago. I had, and I still have it in my storage, a projector that projects really big, and I had it hooked up to a computer so we could watch Netflix, like movies and things on it, and that was quite the experience. That I do want, but not in the house that I'm in now. I want to move from the place where I am. I realize that I need to be close to the earth. I can't be on a second floor. Um, so on the twin flame journey, you are forced to go through these layers of existence, and forced to shed your falsities, and it's either you do the work and you go through it and you shed your falsities to where you get to a state of pureness, or you fight against and you keep looping in pain. So it's either you choose pain, because if you are living in falsity and all of a sudden you become aware of your falsity, there's pain in that. You can't, it's like living in a lie. And living in a lie, either you can turn off your mind and just kind of go ignorant to it, but it's still nagging. It still nags. You can't completely get rid of it. It nags at you because your soul is inside and your soul wants to rise. Your soul wants to get expression. Your soul wants to be. And see, I'm feeling the pain of the journey come up. This twin flame journey is so intense and so fast forward and so all engulfing. It takes over your whole being, and it's so painful, and it's constant, it's consistent and constant. It's this constant intensity, whether you're in good or whether it's just constant intense. I just want to break from it, like a break. Just, I understand that it has to be intense for the spiritual awakening and that you have to go through it and that it's for my higher good and yada, yada. And I understand all that. But sometimes I just want a break. Like, okay, I understand. I want the higher good. I enjoy knowing that I'm rising. I enjoy the spiritual awakening. I am enjoying all of the realizations and the shedding of the falsity and going through myself and getting to know myself intimately and getting to love myself more and more and understand myself more and more. But it's intense. It's intense. And it would be nice just to have like a breather, just to have a moment that, just where all is good. I had a dream last night, and I had a couple of dreams last night. But one of the dreams, I got up and I wrote it down. We went on a family trip, and it was with my siblings. And there was a new little baby girl there. She was about 3. I don't know who I had the feeling she was my sister's, but I didn't know who she was. And we were in the States, and everything was just calm. We were on a trip, and we were next to these big, massive, chateaux. I don't know what they're called, like like the rainbow shape, but they were of metal. And then I saw that inside there were these stairs that were electrical stairs, like mechanical stairs that you could go up. And I told everybody, let's go on them. Let's go up to the top and see the view from the top, because I knew that we were close to the west coast somewhere. And we decided to go, and we all went, and we got up to this plateau up on the top. But the point of the story was, like, afterwards, the feeling of it was that I was let go. I was like free to experience, like, oh, let's go do this, let's go do that. It was just fun. It wasn't this, like, I have now this constant, like, chasing energy, this constant, like, I can't miss out, or something to that effect. But the more I have that, the more I feel like the more I'm amiss, the less gets done, the more I'm amiss for my own self. And so I feel like there's unlimited options and unlimited opportunities and unlimited dimensions. And when you free yourself of the shackles of your beliefs, and you realize that there is nothing to hold on to, you just become a wide open container. That everything, and it's about letting go and allowing. And it can be scary because you hold on to these things for security, for the security of feeling abandoned. um, so when you let go of everything, the world becomes vast, but it can also be like you're wide open and anything can come in. And so you have to have complete security in yourself, which is what we are learning in this twin flame journey, is to trust in ourselves and to trust in the universe, and that we belong, and that everything is here for a reason. we lose our fear because we're going through everything is so intense that it just becomes like everything else just becomes small. Everything else just becomes like, okay, I can handle anything. If I'm handling this twin flame journey and the loss and everything that I'm going through and the loss of myself, it's like being reborn. Everything has so much more meaning. Everything has a meaning. Whereas before it was kind of like sleepwalking, and every once in a while you'd have an aha moment. Now it's like full for fast forward. Everything has meaning, and everything impacts your being emotionally and touches you, and the emotions are part of this experience too, but it all fits together. You have to kind of find a way to live through it. It's like you're shot into wide openness, and now you have to um, deal with it. So just like deal with it. You have to become not numb, but to where you can manage your emotions and manage your thoughts. Because otherwise, being this wide open, everything is pulling your attention all over the place and you're feeling everything intense, intense, intense. You have to start collecting it and start uh, um, um, I want to say controlling it, or being like the master of your own being, or take control over your ego, which is the container of everything. It's like your body is the container of this experience in the physical way, but then your ego is the container of this experience with the gathered thoughts and understandings and knowings and education and the way you feel, and it's just the master container of everything. People. Start hearing loud noises, and it's people. I'm gonna pause this for a second. So I wanted to talk a little bit about focus, some thoughts that I was having this morning and also like yesterday when I had that deep pain, and then all of a sudden I felt like this tick, like I could disconnect my thoughts and keep my focus on what I wanted to think about while the pain was going on. I didn't have to let the pain take over my entire being. I could have the pain because the pain on this journey is a given. I think there's a certain amount of pain that we have to go through. And so I was able to take that pain and keep it, not try to hide from it, but at the same time take my focus back and take my focus onto my work. And I was thinking about things. I was thinking about the power of focus, and I did a couple of videos on focus, which I think are super important, um, and super like in watch the video that I did about focus. The focus is it's like the spotlight in your life. It's where you can take control of your life. Wherever you put your focus is like what you're putting the spotlight on, because the only moment of power that we have is the current moment, and that is the only moment from which the rest of our life evolves from. Wherever we choose to put our focus is what will expand in our life. And our focus is something that we can only use during the current moment. So it's our life power, it's our power of creation. You can't use your focus in the future, there is no such thing. So when we take control of our focus, we can steer our lives in the direction that we want to take our lives. So our focus is a powerful, powerful, powerful manifesting tool. It is actually our power of creation is in our focus. So wherever we take our focus and we decide to put it, if we put it in the weaknesses, if we put it in the thoughts of poor me, that is what is going to expand in our life. If we put our focus on things that we want to expand, like our work or our life mission, or put our focus wherever we can take our focus and purposefully, intentionally put it on what we want to expand in our lives, then we take control of our lives. So our focus is a powerful, powerful, powerful tool for us to use. And by taking control of our focus, regardless of whatever emotions we have coming up, regardless of all of the things, if we're just letting our focus randomly go around according to our emotions, and we just let it, part of this becoming whole is marrying our emotions and our thoughts together. And by doing this, we have to do the work. We have to do the emotional thought work. This is something that I realized many years ago, is that our emotions will pull our thoughts, and our thoughts will pull our emotions. They work together. And where we have beliefs that are false, our emotions will follow. It's like having, like Tony Robbins says, a blueprint, which are the beliefs that you have in your life. So if I believe that sex is a bad thing, let's say, and a lot of us are conditioned to believe that sex is a bad thing. If I'm conditioned to believe that sex is a bad thing, then any kind of sexual thought I'm going to have a emotional reaction to, which will be like of guilt or the lower density emotions. Whereas if I fix the thought and realize that, wait a minute, sex is something that is God-given. It creates life. It's holy. It's the holiest of holies. Sex is by nature. I mean, our beings, our bodies are built for it. We have the plus and the minus. We have the male and female. We have a our reproductive, the male has an out and the female has an in. You can see it in so many different ways. And we are made for that. We are programmed for that. We have orgasms, which are, the shinier than shiny. The taste of an orgasm is just like, and that is in order to make you want to have sex. Now, what we've made it into by making it a taboo subject, and making it into something dirty, and we have to hide our genitals, and everything has to be hidden. There in Africa, there are tribes that walk around naked, and there is nothing sexual about it. It is just a way of being. And so we are conditioned in so many ways to believe so many things. And when we go into ourselves and we start in the spiritual awakening and the spiritual path, we have to go through our own thoughts and realize that we are conditioned to believe certain things, and that it doesn't necessarily make them to be true. And then different societies have different beliefs. So what is true? This is one of the things from moving around a lot. When I was a kid, I moved so many different places. I've lived in so many different places, and every place that we moved to had a different set of rules and a different way of being, and different religions. I moved through different religions, coming from, in my ancestors, coming from a very Christian background to a Jewish upbringing, to back to where I just let everything go, and now I'm a very firm believer in God, but it's so different than any of the religions. It comes from a place of finding God in myself, and it's a very, very disconnected from traditional religion. It's very close to what Jesus taught, or Yeshua taught, and it's very different than the doctrines and what religion looks like today. Um, life life is holy. Life is a gift. Life is sacred. All life is sacred. And we are a part of it all, and we're all one. We're all connected. We're all connected through a magnetic field. We're all of the same substance. We are all living on this planet, with this planet, with each other. We are all interconnected. It's the butterfly effect. We wouldn't have fruits and vegetables if not for bees. Yet we are taking airplanes and going and massacring, all of the insects that pollinate the. We are disconnected as a whole. We believe that we are separate. There's like we have our own individual ego, but then there is like the ego of the consensus of the all of the community. Um, so I have a phone call. I'm going to end this here. I think that I covered most of the subjects that I wanted to cover. Um, and I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.